So what is up, guys? Nick here. Hope you're having a great day. I want to give you my impressions on the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus after 48 hours. You know, I've been using this phone since I've got it, and I'm also using the S9, but I've had the SIM card in the S9 Plus a little bit more, so we're going to talk about this one right now, as this is the hotter device of the two. First of all, the first thing you're going to notice if you do get the Coral Blue is that it's not the same as the older Coral Blue. Some people might like the older one on the older Samsung devices. This to me as well, it's more blue. This is more like a baby blue, like a more standout blue. But at the same time, I really do like it. It's still shiny like all the other Samsung devices. But what else do I want to talk about here? The battery life. So first off, yes, the battery life has gotten better for me on this phone over the S8 Plus. Now, is it by a long shot? No, but I think with Android 8.0 and Samsung Experience version 8.9 on this device, it's actually performing quite well. And also, man, cameras. The cameras on this phone are ridiculous. So I thought the cameras on the Note 8 were really good, but the cameras on here are just that much better. With that aperture mode that allows you to, change. Let me go ahead and show you here if you can see it on camera. I'm not sure. The lens actually you can change on your own in the Pro mode settings. So I'm in aperture right now, and if you just look at the lens, it should go ahead and switch. Like it should be opening up and changing. It goes from f1.5 to 2.4. Now, that's pretty cool for the low light, and I do have some low light photo samples I'm going to show you at the end of this video. But I don't find it to be that useful because I'm only going to be leaving it in auto and it's going to do its own thing. So, whether you have, what's really useful here for me so far with the S9 is the f1.5 aperture. I'm always going to leave it in f1.5. So they could have just made this a fixed f1.5 and I think it would have been just as good, because why would you want to go to f2.4 when all your photos are going to look better in f1.5? I mean, it's cool, but I think it's more marketing than super useful. But it's so cool to see that we can go, aperture, but at the same time, this is not going to be replacing a DSLR anytime soon because the sensor size is just smaller. But as you can see from this video right now that we're shooting right now, this is on the Galaxy S9. Actually, the smaller one, I'm shooting this on lilac purple. And if you don't believe me, let me go ahead and show you this selfie right quick. You could see, there you go. I'm shooting this right now on the S9. So this is basically the quality you're getting. No microphones are set up here, so it's pretty fantastic. Now, I also want to mention the weight. This phone's a little bit heavier, so it gives me a little bit more of a premium feel in the hand. And overall, it just feels like the S version of a Samsung Galaxy S8. So this is probably, the equivalent to, if you had an iPhone 6 or you had an iPhone 6S, you know how Apple would do the S series and make their phones faster? This is basically what this phone is. This could have been called the S8S and it still would have been, it still would have been understandable. It's basically that. It's a faster, better version of last year's phone. And for me, that's enough to make it worth it, especially consider Samsung didn't up the price. The fingerprint also, I've noticed, I thought it was going to be hard to get used to, but I'm actually getting used to this quite easily. And I thought I was going to be smudging the camera, but you don't really smudge the camera because there's that little gap in between the camera and the fingerprint sensor. So that's pretty cool as well. Now, one thing I didn't like so far in my 48 hours is the front-facing camera. While it is good, I think that this front-facing camera still is a little bit soft. It's not super realistic. So if you're into photography and you want the most realistic you can get, this camera is still not there, but it still takes fantastic photos. To me, I just like a more realistic front-facing camera, like what's found on the iPhone 10, for example. But again, it's another Samsung phone. It's fully loaded in the features. And overall, my impressions after 48 hours are this phone is a definite go if you guys want to go ahead and pick up a new phone. I particularly recommend this if you're coming from the S7. The S7 or the S7 Edge. Now, if you got an S6 or an S6 Edge, that's a no-brainer. If you got an S5, absolute no-brainer. But if you got an S8, an S8 Plus, and you can get a deal on it, I still recommend you upgrade because it's a better version of the phone you're already using. And you could get a credit on this phone, or if you're on a carrier and it's not really going to cost you anything to just get that jump program like they got on some carriers where you can just jump to the next phone, go ahead and do it. I think you're going to be happy with this device. But the biggest thing I've noticed is that overall the lag is way down. There was a little bit of lag in Twitch on the S8 but it's way down here on the S9 Plus. So that's my impressions after 48 hours. Did you pick up an S9? Did you pick up an S9 Plus? Let us know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you all in the next video. Be sure to be well. Nick here, and peace.